So today I'm gonna install some heated seats on my Jeep TJ. So the first step is you actually gotta take out your seats. So as you can see, I already took out my seats, and since you got your seats out already, you might as well vacuum this up. But I'll probably do that afterwards because I'm a little lazy. Alright, so you can see my seats are right here. I already started taking this apart. There's just these little clamps on the side for the back, front, and side. You just need to take it off. And there's some zippers. I have the Sahara edition, so my seats are a little different. They come with this little flap on the back, more storage. So inside the actual seats, they're gonna be these, I don't know what it's called, but it's attached to this part right in here, and it's attached by hog rings. You're just gonna have to cut that off somehow, and I already did that. I didn't really have the proper tool to cut it, so I just used this and just cut these little rings in here, over here too. And later you're gonna use zip ties to put it all back together. And so you basically do all of that until you get to this part of the seat, so you can put the pads on. Alright, so this is the pad. There's two. Two is for one seat. And it does come with instructions and relay and the wiring harness, which is awesome. So we're just gonna put this right in here. I might have to do some adjustments, like cut those holes in here for the hog rings to fit. We'll see how that happens. You're gonna want to place the pad on the seat first and see how it will fit on the seat under it. And the hog rings will go actually right here and right here for my seat. And what I'm going to try to do is probably just make little holes in here where it doesn't make a hole through the heated wires, so nothing disrupts that. I mean, you could, but I just want to do it that way. So I'm gonna try to do little holes. I would recommending probably getting a Sharpie or some pen, draw out where you're gonna cut, and then just cut it out. As you can see, I already made these holes right here and right there. And I'm not gonna use hog rings because the kit came with some zip ties and I'm too lazy to get actual hog rings to replace it. So I'm just gonna do that. So I used an X-Acto knife right over there. Just got a permanent marker first, marked where it was, and just started cutting little holes, and that's gonna be where the zip ties are gonna be. See, I got the first pad in. Before you put everything in, make sure you take the sticky pad on the other side off, obviously, so it sits and it stays. And then I put these little zip ties in. It just came with zip ties that look like these, pretty standard zip ties. And you just trim those off after you get those in. And that replaces the hog rings. The bottom seat is done. Now to do the top, same thing. You can want to kind of align it right there, cut little holes if you have to, and just take the sticky tape off, just put it in. A piece was a little hard because it wouldn't fit, or it would fit, but you would have to take off these. There are hog rings right here. I was a little too lazy to do that, so I just cut the other piece that was gonna be up here. I just cut it off, so it would be much easier just to put it on. And there it is right there, and the wire just goes down there. So after everything is done, you're just gonna zip it back, and you're gonna be good. And you're just gonna do that with the other chair. And then I'll show you how I'm going to set it up in the Jeep. And there it is, I zipped it all up. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna tuck this stuff back in where it was before. And this side, the same thing, tuck it back in. And you're gonna be done with the chair. So now we're in the Jeep. So what you're gonna want to do is find a mounting location for your new switches, like this. So this has to go somewhere. I already have some switches over here that I labeled, light bar, spotlights. And down here, I made some lights too, grill lights, some bumper lights. So I already made the spots. It's gonna be right there and right here. And what you're gonna need to do is you just need to drill it out. and make sure it's the right size for your button, and we'll see how that goes. Making the holes right here, all you need to do is really vacuum this stuff up and then start trying to wire things up. So I wired everything up. I put everything in this little console and behind here, put all the wires in here. So I spliced the 2 red wires into one thicker wire, a thicker gauge, and I used the fuse that it came with. So there's 2 of the red wires for both sides, this side and the other side. It's both right here. It's spliced, and the directions say put it in an amp that is over 10. So I put it in the turn signal amp. So it's right there. And of course, I bought this little fuse connect, whatever, a mini fuse connect, just to do that. And as you can see, I put all my buttons right here. Just click it. It works. Put on high, it's red. This one too. And that works. And now it's time to install the seats. For the ground wire, I actually also spliced them into one thicker wire, and I just used this wire right here. And so the black wire, there is the ground wire. It goes in here, then it comes in here, goes through that, and I actually ground it right here. It's not the proper way to do it because I didn't have another one of these, so I was a little lazy. Yeah, but it still works. Let's try to put back on the seat. I would recommend getting some WD-40 or some type of lubricant to lube up these little holes for the screws to come in, and it'll be way easier to put these in if you lube. Just got my seats in. As you can see, the wires are all right here, right there, and I already tested it out, and I just turned it off, turn it on again. It's nice and toasty. I could definitely feel it. And the other side is this exact same thing. And the cool thing is I get to keep my cool factory seats. It looks like a normal seat, it doesn't look like anything at all. And it gives you the luxury of modern cars on a 1997 Jeep, which is pretty legit. And that looks pretty factory too. I did print out some labels right here and right here. I'll show you guys that in a sec. Alright, and there it is, the labels, and now it looks really, really good. So, as you can see, I installed the seats. If you guys have any other questions, just ask me down in the comments. Any questions about wiring, you can ask me that too. I'm going to clean this up right now and make it look a little better. I'm going to push that up there. Oh yeah, and I got these little lights right there. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching and subscribe.